Hello. Hi, this is Jim from the St. Clairsville Public Library. I'm the technology trainer. We're starting to do some live videos now. And the first one we wanted to do is a is one on some of our tech, specifically some of our resources that you would find online, some of our digital resources. I'll put a link to that in the comments so that you all can access those at some point. Um, During this, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments. If I can't get to you right now, I will later on or at some other point. We also have a web chat on our website that you can go to if you have any questions at most business hours during the day. I think 6 days a week. So please go there if you have any questions regarding anything with the access to resources that you're getting at home. The two things I'm going to be going over today is just some quick tips and some top tips and some hot tips for Libby and Hoopla. These are two resources that we love at the library. They just have a lot to offer, and they're so easy to use. Uh, Today, I'm going to be going over some stuff that maybe you didn't know that you could use before. Some stuff that maybe you didn't know was there, but will help a lot when you're using these different resources. Um, yeah, so the first one I'm going to go over is Libby. I'm going to be using this iPad here. It's going to be pretty much the same for using these same tips on your phone. Um, so hopefully that'll help you out. The Hoopla as well, it should be mostly the same for using it on different devices. So the first thing I wanted to show everybody in Libby, and this is, I think, one of it's great. It's a fantastic tip. So right here, if you're looking at the screen, there's this red bar right there. And this is a really important bar. I don't think that it's emphasized enough in the app. This bar right here, on the left side, it says preferences. On the right side, it says explore. These are key to using the app. The thing you want to do is press that little plus, and I'll give this little pop-up thing right here where you can change what types of stuff you are searching for, what types of stuff you will be finding. You can change the format, which would be the audiobook and ebook. You can change the language. You can change it. There's crazy. I think there's like Urdu. If anybody speaks Urdu out there, I think that there are options for Urdu in Libby. Audience, you can switch between kids and adults. Compatibility, just for using reading on different devices. Availability and sort by. I want to really show availability because this is really cool. You press this, it switches between everything and available now. So let's say that you really want to find a book, but you don't want to deal with like seeing all these different lists of things. It's like, oh well, I want this book, but there's a 12-week waiting period. Just press available now, and you won't have to deal with that. This is an important thing to realize whenever you're searching for stuff and you say, I can't find this, but I knew it was on Libby. Maybe if in your preferences you have it on available now instead of everything. That would make it so you won't be able to see some things that are not available in the moment. Once you change all those preferences, you just hit apply, and then it did it for you. I'm going to actually get rid of those preferences so that we're not missing anything during this. Um, cool. The next thing that I want to show you, this little tip, is explore. Now, I don't know if you know this. If you swipe here, you will go on forever and ever and ever, and it's going to load lots of different types of books, and it's going to give you lots and lots of stuff, but it's not necessarily the most organized thing. If you go all the way to the top here and you hit explore, it's going to be a little bit more detailed. It's going to have a little bit more, think a little bit of this is what I want. Guide. These are going to be kind of just like searching by genres or browsing by genres. Yeah, you can get in any of those and you can just look around. So let's say, let's go into mysteries. It's going to pull up. This page is just browsing by the genre. You can go even further and hit feature. These are going to be feature mysteries. These ones are all about dogs. That sounds like fun. All right. So you can go, browse those at your leisure. The two big things I want to show you on this are what's available and skip the line. These are really, really cool. So when you hit what's available, this is going to give you, like I was mentioning before, sometimes you don't want to see all of those other books that are out there. You just want the stuff that is you can check out right now and start reading or listening to off the bat. If by hitting what's available, then hitting all available titles, this is going to give you those exact things. So you don't have to worry about that at all. The other cool thing is skip the line. This is very similar to what's available, except this is stuff that has incredibly long waiting lists. For some reason, there's like one copy out there that's just like dancing off in the other sphere, and it's just like it's just there, and it's right there for you to pick and take and start reading. So all of these have really, really long waiting lines, and you can get it right now. If I wanted Year of Yes, boom, it's mine in that moment because I saw that. Fantastic. So that red line right there is key. I think that's one of the most important features of this app. And that's overall here in this library. If we want to go over here to the shelf, there's some other stuff that we can look at here that I think will help a lot. The main ones are, so this is where you manage all of your stuff. This is where like you see what you have checked out, see what returned recently, see what you have tagged, all that kind of good stuff. So what I think is useful for it is managing your holds. This is something I don't think people know about. When you go to your shelf and you see these three options, let's press holds. These are books that you were waiting for. There's 2 weeks on both of these. They're both about music. I'm interested in both of them a lot. But let's say like 1 to 2 weeks from now, I get really busy. Like there's like projects out going wild. Like there's just lots and lots of projects. Let's say that I just got a book that I want to read more than I want to read that one right now. Let's say that that's like I have other priorities. I don't want to miss out on having this book. If you're on these books right here and you're in your holds, press manage hold. I'll do it on this one. You can hit suspend hold and change how long you are waiting for that. So let's say that I don't think I'm going to be able to read this for the next month. Like I just have too much going on. You can suspend that for like as many as 180 days. You can really put it off for a long time. And what that does is it just pushes you back further in the line and lets some other people read it before you. And that helps. That helps if you just have too much going on. But I think it's something we don't always realize we have in this app. Another thing that you can always do is return early. This is really, really kind to do for other people. We really try to encourage it. Oops. If you hit manage loan on a book you have checked out, you can just hit return early. It'll put it back in there, and like once you're done with it, or if you don't want to finish it, it's not good. You don't. It's not your cup of tea. You just put it back out there. That's great. We appreciate people doing that. It helps other people get the book a little bit quicker. People who are really looking forward to it. Another thing that's fun here is tags. So tags, you can create lists of books. I like to use this for books I'm interested in reading, but again, I don't have time to read them. But I saw them as like, oh, I want to keep track of this. I want to make sure I can come back to this later. And so the way you do that is if you are exploring, let's go back to these dog mysteries. This one, Mission Impossible. PAW, possible, impossible. Let's see that. Okay, so that book, I don't have time to read it right now, but I really want to keep track of it. So what I do is on this book, I just press tag, and it'll give me an option of the different tags I have. And let's say and you can like label these whatever you want. You can say dog mysteries. You can have it say food. I have one here that says food. This is just for cookbooks and stuff. You can just pick one of those. I accidentally put it in food. If you want to create a new one, you just hit right here on the bottom, add. You just type in a new name, and then you're good to go. So that's what tags are. That's how you create tags. That's how you get back to the tags. Another thing that I think is this is like really just kind of like a secret is when you have an audiobook, there are some nifty little buttons up here. So let's say you like what they're talking about, but like they're just reading really slowly. Yes, Phyllis, the name of this app is Libby, Libby. It is found on Apple devices and on like computers too. You can download that as an app. Um, it's not on Kindles. With Kindles, you have to do Overdrive, which would be something we would have to talk about at another time. But yeah, this one right here is called Libby. So up here at the top, let's say that somebody is talking just so slowly. They just are a slow reader, and you just kind of want to get to the point. Like you really enjoy the book, you just want to move through it. Right here, up at the top, this one on the farthest left, that changes how fast the reading is. If you tap it, it'll go faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, all the way up into 2 times. But watch this. If you put your finger down on it and you hold, you can change the speed however much you want to. You can go all the way up to 3 times speed, which is a pretty neat feature. This is also good if any high schoolers are out there and they're trying to get through some books a little bit quicker. That's a good way to do it. Another nifty feature, I really like this one, is with the audiobook. The one right next to it is a moon. What this does is it pauses it, and it pauses it after a certain amount of time. So let's say that you're just kind of hanging out, or you're doing dishes, or you're cooking, and you have to be somewhere in 10 minutes, and you don't want to put a timer on or something. You push this, it'll give you um, it'll pause it after however much time you set it for. And it's the same as changing the speed. If you hold down your finger and drag, you can pause in however long you want. And it goes all the way up until 2 hours. So 2 hours after you started pressing play, it'll stop on its own. But what's really cool is if you can see right here, there is a dot that says end of chapter. So if you bring it up to there and you put it where it says end of chapter, it will stop reading when it gets to the end of that chapter. So uh, you don't have to figure out when that's going to be. You don't have to stop in the middle of the chapter and you start it back and there's only 30 seconds left in the chapter and you didn't realize you were that close to the end. So that's some pretty cool stuff. If you want to navigate a bit more, there's also this one right here with these 3 lines, and these will give you the chapters. And if you had created some bookmarks, there's also a little button for tips and secrets. It's kind of the stuff I'm going over a little bit, but yeah. So that's some of the things in Libby that you maybe didn't know about. A little bit of tips and secrets that we think really help the experience. Yeah, I'm also going to talk about Hoopla. If you had any questions about Libby, please feel free to ask them in the comment section. If you have any questions in general, please feel free to go to our website and use the web chat we have there. If you have any questions about your library card or about just the current services we have going on right now, we're more than happy to answer those questions for you. So I'm going to talk about Hoopla now. Hoopla is another resource we have that we love. It has more to offer than Libby, but with some catches. There's some there you can only have so many borrows a month, and after you reach that limit, you can't check out anymore. At the current moment, we are at 15 checkouts per month, so that's great. You can check out movies. You can check out some TV shows. There are some catches with the TV shows. You can't one checkout or one borrow counts per episode. So if you check out 15 episodes, you've spent all of your checkouts. So that's something you need to be aware of. It's not per season. You don't check out an entire season. But you can get TV shows on there. You can get music. This is CDs. This is, you don't borrow per song, you borrow per album. So you get those for like a week. And then books, you can get audiobooks, ebooks, and comics too. So that's a great thing to take advantage of. Now, some of the tips and secrets and stuff that maybe you didn't know about with Hoopla. Again, I'm using the iPad. It's going to be, I think, fairly similar to what it would be like on other devices, and what it would be like if you're using your computer itself. I think one of the biggest keys right here is up on the top left corner. It says kids. And let's say that you're a parent and you want your kid to be able to listen to music and you want your kid to be able to listen or to watch some movies and TV shows and stuff like that. But you want to make sure that they don't run into something that's that is inappropriate for them. If you press kids, this will make it so everything you see will only be kid friendly. You'll even see right here, the current selections I have are all um, they're all kid friendly, except for this one. It says 80s mixtape, and I didn't think that that would be flagged as kids. But when I press this button here, and I just touch where it says kids. Yes, there's a little check mark that pops up next to it, and the 80s mixtape disappeared. So that will stop anybody from being able to see stuff that is not children's content. So that is a fun little key. Let's get back to some other stuff. Talking about some tips and secrets here. Let's look at the videos. So these are the different videos they have. I checked out this one. It's called Dragons Love Tacos. Um, who doesn't love tacos, though? I mean, it's a pretty blanket statement. So it starts playing the video. Some things you might not know is that you can actually browse through other titles while you're watching a video. So if you go up here to the top left, there are three buttons: an X, a box with some arrows, and another box with an arrow and another box. If you press that one, the one on the right of those three, it'll move that screen down to here. Keep playing, and you can keep looking through these different movies and TV shows and different titles. So let's go back to this video. If you want it back big, if you touch the video, all you have to do is touch it. It'll pop up with three buttons. You want to press that one on the left. It looks very similar to one we pressed before. It'll pop back up as a video, as a full screen. Now, a couple features down here. If you have an Apple TV or like an Apple device or something like that you want to watch it on instead, you can actually press this little button down here where it looks kind of like a TV. Push that, it'll come up with some other devices, what you want to watch it on. Right now, it's just on this iPad. So that's the only device I have going on right now. But right next to that, there's another button that you can turn on subtitles. I'm sorry, I didn't put that well enough in the screen. Let's try it again. See that right here? Push that. It'll give you options for subtitles, just in case there's somebody who wants to enjoy this, is hearing impaired, or just appreciates being able to see what people are saying while they say it. I know I sometimes like that. In the audio, so let's say you're listening to something, either an audiobook or an album. There are a little bit of things we can do here. So let's pick this 80s mixtape. Starts off with Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. Classic. I love this song. It's fantastic. So clearly is a play and then like skip tracks, all that. But let's say that you want to pick a different song. You know what the songs that are on here. You want to pick a specific one. I mean, that's not an option here. What you do is you actually swipe this way, and then you can see all the tracks lists. So you can pick something like Maniac from Flashdance. I mean, this CD is gold. I mean, it's just great stuff on here. If you swipe the other way, you will actually pull up options for repeat and shuffle. So if you want to repeat this one song, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, over and over again, you can totally do that as many times as you want. Or you can repeat the album. You just wanted to keep playing when it's done. Right underneath shuffle, if you are unfamiliar with shuffle, it just takes whatever combination of songs are there. So let's say it's this 80s mixtape album. It would just play the songs in a random order so that it just kind of changes things up a little bit, gives a little bit of a diversity, a little bit of excitement in the day. So that's maybe some stuff you didn't know about the listening features. It's similar whenever you have an audiobook. So this is what audiobooks look like. This is the first Harry Potter book. Um, you can again, if you want to pick a specific chapter. So let's say you've read the book, like the first four chapters, and like you think you might prefer to listen to it, but you don't want to listen through the first four chapters again. Same thing. If you swipe, you get a list of all the different chapters, so you can start right on chapter 5, Diagon Alley. And it tells you also how long those chapters are. Diagon Alley is 45 minutes long. That is a long chapter. Again, on the other side, you can select the playback rate. So this is the speed, just like we saw on Libby, where we can make somebody read faster. You can do that here too by set rate and then however many times. And then again, sleep timer here. This is exactly like what we saw in Libby, where it stopped reading after a certain point. You can press end of chapter. You can set the amount of time. You can do it by 15-minute increments. So it'll stop at 7:07. Maybe some stuff you didn't know about accessing these different things while listening to things in Hoopla. We also want to talk a little bit about searching, because you can browse all day. If you're familiar with Hoopla, you know you have these different things down here. Oops, that is a book. Oh, that is Libby. I got pushed back into Libby somehow. Down here at the bottom, you have different options. This is where you browse. So that is the video. You can watch different things. I need to turn this onto the kids friendly one real quick. So yeah, you can browse video and music and all that kind of stuff, and it's lots of good fun. Searching, advanced search. This is where you can look for specific stuff. This gets like real specific. You can look for release dates, so you know when a particular movie or a particular album came out. You can search for those, or a book. You can look for specific series if you know a specific series. These are great little shortcuts. One thing to take advantage of right now is searching by genre, and this is something that I think we've made made mention of before in when we've gone to classes and taught about these resources. Is that when you're in kids mode, you can't actually search by genre, which is pretty unfortunate. It gums things up a little bit for whatever reason. But let me see if I can find this. So right now, this audiobook and also the ebook of it, the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, if you look at this first paragraph right here, this says this title is part of the Hoopla Bonus Borrows collection. For a limited time, this is one of 1,000 plus titles you can borrow without using any of your monthly Hoopla borrows. This is fantastic. This is like it's just great. So you don't have to, I mean, those precious borrows, right? I mean, like you have 15, you can't use more than that. You want to make sure you reserve them so that you can keep watching movies and listening to music and all that. If you're in a book that is a bonus borrow, if you go down to the bottom, you just swipe to the bottom here, see, like this. If you look under where it says similar titles, right here, it says more bonus borrow. Sorry, it's hard to read backwards in the screen. And if you click that, that's going to give you more of these things that are free to check out. And when you're in kids, you can't search by genre, and so that's how you would have to find those bonus borrows. But if you are not in kids mode and you go to the books and you press genre, where is that? Press genre. Sorry. the first or one of the first options up here is bonus borrows. So it's bonus borrows mystery, thriller, and suspense. Bonus borrows series kids love. So there's lots of stuff you can pick from there. If you scroll down to top categories, there's even more. There's children's favorites, Christian living, classic stories for adults and children, make time for you. So there's all of those things that you can check out for free, and so it won't use all of your borrows, which is fantastic. Um, Now, if you wanted to search by genres or browse by genres in general, that's where you would do it, not in kids mode. I want to really make sure that point is driven home. You cannot access this in kids mode, unfortunately. Um, but that's where you would find it. You can scroll and say you want to do uh, just add it to voices, or sorry, just add it to Hoopla, and it would give you the stuff that they just added there. If you want to read some stuff that you're familiar with, there's some options for that. Yeah, so that's where you would find that. Learning with Steam, literary fiction, nonfiction, Latino voices, parenting. So you can browse the different genres there. It's a great tool for that. Um, Another thing you can do is manage your favorites. So when we're on the home screen of Hoopla right here, you can see it says borrowed and favorites. So favorites are just things that yeah, if you pick a particular album, let's say Moana, the Moana soundtrack, classic. Lin Manuel Miranda does a fantastic job. It's just killer music. They use um, Polynesian like language in some of the songs. It's really really cool. Um, you can hit right here, hit favorite. So if this is an album you want to keep checking out, and so let's say that like once a month you check out this album so you can listen to it, and so you can use one of your bars for that. If you're on your homepage, it's going to be right there, so you can just like keep going back to it. Or if you're scrolling or browsing, you're just trying to look for some new stuff, and you find something that you will want to check out, but you don't have enough borrows, you can just hit favorite on that. It'll be right there in your favorites, and you can get back to it later, um, which I think is again fantastic. I think it's a great little tip. Um, that's Sorry if I rushed through all of this. This video will be posted back onto the page, so you can go back and catch some of the quick things I said. I said a lot, I think, very quickly. So feel free to go back in the video and use that as reference. Feel free to ask us questions. If you watch this video after it's already been live, feel free to comment in the comment section, and we will happily get back to you. If you have any other questions, always feel free to reach out to us on the web chat. It's on our website, stclibrary.org. The bottom right, just click that button, type in your question, and we will get back to you. You can also email us. You can also leave us a comment on any of our posts. You can send us a message. There's lots of ways you can get in touch with us, and we want you to get in touch with us. We are here as a service for you and your families and the community. I see some more questions in the comment section. Nope, not really. Cool. If you liked this, please tell us. Please let us know if you got something out of it. We'll be doing another session like this next Wednesday on a resource called Linda. I've used Linda so much since I started working at the library. Like I've learned so many things from it, and I think that it's something you guys would really love. And I'll go through some of the key learnings from that, some stuff that you might not know otherwise. I'll also have a tech Q&A on Friday at noon. Please ask some questions before then, and I will answer them as I can. I will also answer them live as you ask them, and I'm looking forward to that. I hope that you all will join us for that. Anything you have tech related, especially something related to the resources we have here at the library. Um, Thanks so much for tuning in, and please let us know what we can do for you. We're happy to be here. Have a happy Wednesday.